Futures training grew out of the work of VICSEG, the Victorian Cooperative on Children's Services for Ethnic Groups, which for 30 years has been assisting migrant and refugee families to access culturally relevant children's services. New Futures training started with 12 Somali students in 2002. Now, 10 years later, we are training in excess of 2,000 students each year, principally in the areas of childcare, aged care and health services. In addition to these training programs, VICSEG facilitates cultural playgroups across the northern and western suburbs of Melbourne. Our playgroup leaders speak a number of community languages and facilitate over 25 playgroups for families from many diverse communities. Playgroups support children's development and provide useful information for parents about local services, such as maternal and child health, kindergartens and schools. This video demonstrates how VICSEG's cultural playgroups also provide an important pathway to training and professional development for our playgroup leaders.
Being a playgroup leader, I have learnt to support parents. Parents they've got a lot of confidence in me. They can come and talk to me and ask me if there's any questions, if there's any courses going around in the area. I've basically got a good bond with this whole community.
I become a playgroup leader, knowing about the process and learning about families, learning about children. This is where my coordinator, Maureen, giving me an opportunity to express and learn and study. And also I take a lot of studies in community development in children's area, as well as a diploma in children's services.
This year, Malika has completed her diploma and has a dream to go on further again and become a teacher. I've seen for Maria, her love of the community blossom, and she has done her certificates in early childhood and also in community development.
I did my certificate 3 on 2004.
Mona Yazdin has excelled in her field, became as a volunteer with the playgroups, and then did her field placement when she was doing her Children's Services Certificate 3. And from there she became a bilingual storyteller.
When I finished my Certificate 3 in Children's Service, I started to volunteer with the playgroup community, and later on I get an opportunity to work with my community as well.
Some of our young mothers took a particular interest in why we were putting particular play activities out and wanted to learn how the play was related to the children's learning. We found this a wonderful opportunity to talk informally with our families, and as they got more confidence, they wished to be referred on to additional training opportunities.
I see the importance to take further studies because it's something that I always planned to become as a mother. As a child, when I was a little girl, I've always planning to be with families, to be with children, to make them feel comfortable.
I did my studying in Children's Services, Certificate 1, 2 and 3, and then I enjoyed that, and then I went and studied my diploma. So now I've got my diploma, and also now I'm looking to study for bachelor's. Eventually probably want to become a teacher out of this.
At the moment, I'm doing placement as children and child care services. I'm doing also my diploma course.
I have received informal kind of short and long-term training with Playgroup Victoria, and also going to a few workshops with VICSEG Early Years and Services Playgroup. So it's very good for me to learn how to set up the playgroup and what is it for, and it's a very a new challenge and learning that I gain from the workshops.
Now parents have taken the next step where they're all doing children's services courses, childcare. All my friends going back, when I told them my story, now they're all into children's services courses, and that's fantastic.
Some mothers they like what I do,
And so I have encouraged lots of moms to do some courses like Children's Services Certificate 3. And I know about 10 to 15 mothers, they did this course. And some of them now they are working, like playgroup leaders, they are storyteller, they are childcare worker. This month I have suggested about 7 to 8 mothers to be a storyteller, and they are interested in doing these things, and even childcare too. And when I see them like they are working, I feel happy. I said, I did something good in my life. I employed someone, I encouraged someone to work, and makes me feel happy.
3 years ago, I started with VICSEG New Futures as a refugees mentor and looking after 2 playgroups, facilitating and setting up the activities for the refugees and cold backgrounds playgroup.
I work with Juan in supporting her in her role as a playgroup facilitator. Juan, with working with the women from the Karen Burmese community, has provided lots of supports for them to engage in the playgroup environment, to establish links with their other people within the community, but has also been able to role model different things that we take for granted in our Australian society but is very new to them, such as learning through play, how to parent in Australia, and also the different services available to families in Australia, such as maternal child health services, and why that's important to access these services, as well as how to enrol your child into 4-year-old kindergarten.
I'm now employed by Melbourne City Mission as a facilitator in children's services, and also I am now employed by the DHS, which is the Department of Human Services, for those families who are isolated.
So when I'm doing my placement now, because I like to be with the children, so I enjoy working with the children to improve my knowledge, to get confident to do my assessment and all things from the childcare.
In addition to work with VICSEG, I'm working as the FKA bilingual worker, and I have to go to the kinder to work with the children and to stay with the children to maintain their first language and settle them in the kindergarten. And I'm also working at Mossfield Primary School as a multicultural educational aide. At the Mossfield Primary School, I have to translate the school newsletter in Karen language, and also sometimes I have to be with the children in their classroom, and if they need help, I have to help them with their homework or the subjects that, the question that they don't understand, and also I have to communicate between the teachers and the parents, because some parents, they have the difficulties with their English language.
I've gained a lot of knowledge and experiences, and keeping me motivated to look for new challenges. So like this year, I have a position jobs given as a bicultural support officer in Wyndham City Council. And also with my backgrounds working with the refugees, families and communities, I also been appointed to a job on a maternity leave from a colleague in New Hope Foundation as a family project, or we call health and well-being programs for women who experience family violences, and also looking after children that witness the violences. Apart from that, on my other days, I was helping out with the Gambling Help Project as a partnership with New Hope Foundation. So I am very resourceful when it's come from communities and children's services. That's how I improve myself in a new title of jobs. I also have many other women in the playgroup as the mothers who would like to further study and also related into the childcare services, especially running a self-supported playgroup like a SPPI program. They just wanted a bit further training so they can actually take initiative in running their own playgroup as the same language background.
There is a need for new and innovative approaches to support women into employment that draws on their skills and experience. Through our training and support programs, VICSEG New Futures is boosting local skills development for job-seeking families. We believe building a strong and culturally diverse workforce has the added benefit of ensuring that local community services meet the needs of all Victorians.
رز سموقة بسيمة لواشي وقردو قيمة كبة وبرياني وضلمة الضلمة مستوتمة ترى لا 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 ترى لا 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 لا